Welcome to LexV Designs. Today we are going to be learning how to cut a corset. This is so easy to make. Formerly, we have already drafted out a pattern. Now we're going to be sewing and implementing the method. So stay tuned. So on this piece of material, I'm going to be drafting out my basic body measurement. Now I'm going for my neck width with 3, my neck depth of about 5. It can vary with what you want. So I just did 3. You can use up to 5, you can use up to 6. It depends on what you want. So, and then I give it a little curve. I'll just go ahead and mark my shoulder, which is 7.5 plus ½ inch sewing allowance, and then I'll come down with about ½ inch or 1 inch for my shoulder slant. Then I'll just rule across, go forward to mark my armhole of about 8. From that shoulder slant, I'll just mark my armhole of 8. Then I'll just rule, and then I'll be closing it up, then give it a curve. Since it's the front, I'll come out by ½ inch this way, and I'm just using my armhole curve for this, but this is not where we are learning today. We're going ahead after marking this to mark the rest of our body measurement. So right now I'll be marking from my shoulder to my bust to my nipple point, and that's 10. That's for my shoulder to bust. Then from my shoulder I'll be marking to my under bust, and that's 14. So I'll just mark 14. I'll go ahead and mark my half length and add my sewing allowance at that place, because it's a gown. I'll be joining it. So I'll just go ahead and then mark my half length plus the sewing allowance. So if your half length is 16, you can use 17, or you can use 16.5. So I'll just be ruling across all the lines. Don't forget that I folded this material into 2, just 2. I didn't fold it into 4. This is just for the front. So on this line, I'm just marking all the lines that I've ruled out. Then from that, my shoulder to bust, I'll be coming down by 1 inch, and then I'll make sure that I have my nipple to nipple measurement. On that point, I'll be coming down to meet my half length measurement, and on that side I'll be marking 1 inch on each side. If these drawings are not very clear to you, I already drafted this on the video below. You can check out for the other video on this channel. So at this point, I will just go in by ½ inch and then come up by 1 inch, just this way. And I'm doing this at the front side, not the armhole side. Okay, next, I'm just adding ½ inch on each of this side. That's at the base of my under bust. I'm just adding ½ inch on each side on the base of my under bust. Now I'll be connecting that line, that adjusted ½ inch. I'll just mark it to join that square that I drew in that part. Then I'll come out for my armhole by 2 inches, and then connect. This video is well explained on the drafted video, on the drafted part of this video. So I am just adding the same measurement that I have for my under bust, from my bust to my under bust, and I'm just adding 4 inches, the same measurement I got for that part. And then I'll be connecting upward from this way and connect the other way too. So I'll be adding another ½ inch, that is around down my armhole. I'll be adding another ½ inch just to connect this corset, and then I'll be dividing 1 1/2 at this upper part between these two angles, and then I'll just be connecting it this way. Okay, so I'll be bringing down this line just to meet the downside, just the way I did. I have 2 inches, and these 2 inches I'll be replacing it on the measurements I'm taking. I'm just replacing the whole 2 inches. I have 10 plus 2 inches sewing allowance plus another 2 inches for this corset, so I have 4 inches in total. So I'm just cutting out. So I'm just connecting the lines down, and then I'll be cutting. I'll just cut the upper part this way and just that way down to meet that ½ inch. I adjusted the armhole, I came down by ½ inch, and then that's what I'll be cutting. I'll be doing away with the rest of the fabric. Then this is the upper part. I'll just cut the neck and the armhole, and that is all. I'm cutting the shoulder slants now. Then with this armhole, I'm just coming down to meet that ½ inch. And this is it for the upper part. This is if you want yours to have a yoke. Some people sew theirs without a yoke, but if you don't want a yoke, you can easily adjust it. I'm making this with a yoke. Now I'll be cutting out the corset. I'll be cutting out the unnecessary parts as well. I'll be cutting them out, then cut the necessary parts. I'm tagging each of the pattern, each piece of this corset. I'm tagging them so I don't mix them up when placing them. So this part is considered very important. This one, and then this other side is also important. All these ones I'm going to be cutting out. I'm not going to use them for this. So while I'm at this, if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, kindly subscribe and turn on your notification bell so you'll be notified every time I upload a video. Thank you. So this part is also important. I've cut out the unnecessary parts, and then I'll be placing them so you can see how it looks. I'm placing them with each of the tags. This is so easy to make once you just flow with the method. And if you did not understand this fabric, or maybe because it's very colored, and then the colors were not allowing you to see the chalk, I already drafted a pattern. You can follow that method. It's very easy to make, and it's in this channel. So this is how the corset looks with the yoke all together. Now I'll just go ahead and turn each of these pieces with a stay gum so that it's a little bit harder, not too soft, not too hard. And this is it. Each of them I used an iron, and this is how it looks. And then I'll be stitching up the rest this way. This is the way it looks when I've stitched up the body parts of the corset. Now I will be sewing this together this way. For each of the sides, I will sew it this way. Then I will I'll be attaching my bra cup on each of this. Then I will attach my yoke. Very easy to make. Just follow the steps and you will be guided. So this is my bra cup. I will attach my bra cup on each of them, and then I'll sew round on each of them. This way I've already attached it. That's why it's doing like this. So I'll just sew on it this way and then sew that way too. So this is how it looks. Stay tuned for more videos. Thank you.